but we got a top 5. We're gonna a little bit special towards him. Indie horror films of the last 5 years. Excited. I'm excited. We're going to go around the horn. Mike, you'll kick us off. Mike, what is your number 5 indie horror, top 5 indie horror film? What's
number 5? I have actually chosen Tori Jones's 2023 Phantom Fun World.
Okay. I've never heard of it. I dig it. I'm into it. I need to know more about it.
It has L.C. Holt in it from Your Next. He was the Landmass Killer. And ironically, we actually worked with him in one of our films as well. But it also has a very well-known actress on the scene. Her name is Spencer Martinez. Spencer did an absolutely phenomenal job in this role. I kind of thought she was a lot of the heart and soul of the film. To put it in more quicker terms than that, it's actually the best way to put it. It's your slasher, kind of like a slasher at Chuck E. Cheese. It's supposed to be more like at a carnival, but it feels more like it's at a Chuck E. Cheese kind of SK kind of place. It's about a bunch of kids working the night shift and stuff. Like, they have to do like the last evening closings, and then they have to do their cleanups and their tune-ups. One of the lead girls' little brother happens to tag along and go in there, and a mass serial killer goes in there and starts ensuing carnage. Honestly, I thought they did a great job, especially within the indie horror scene. I felt like that. Those killers in the haunted houses, killers in the fun houses are, far and few in between. And so when you see one of those pop up, I have to give it a little bit more props and appreciation. But it had a good story. Acting, I thought, was very good. Like I said, I feel like Spencer Martinez, she was a very good standout in that one. Like I said, she was like the lead's best friend. But, I mean, I just felt like she had a lot of heart and a lot of soul. And she definitely had me invested in her character. Definitely really enjoyed that one.
Nice. All right. I love that. All right, Paul, what you got? What's your number 5?
All right. First, I want to preference it. I'm not saying this for lip service, because once I say this movie, you guys know I fanboyed out over this film. So I honestly mean it. It was Bloody Summer Camp 1. I had to make the list. Just being honest. I fanboyed out. I bought that on Vudu, bought on DVD, bought on Blu-ray. I made everyone watch it. I do love that movie. Preferencing all that.
I'm not listen. There's no argument from me on that. I do know you love that movie, and you should love it too. Go check it out for sure. I will both these movies. Any movie we're giving you, go check it out and let us know what you think. But Bloody Summer Camp, that was a fun one. I like that one. The sequel's coming out soon.
Yep, this fall.
Yeah,
yep. Just in time for Halloween. All right, guys. So number 5 for me is Good Boy. It was a film out of Sweden where a man starts dating this woman, and she comes back to his house and finds that he has a dog. But it's not a real dog. It's a man in a dog suit that lives as this guy's dog. And so she at first rejects the whole thing, and then she has to then she starts to come to terms with it. He lures her in. He's very much feels very much like he's dark and mysterious, but he's safe. Like, this is okay. Like, this is just something he's doing with his friend that his friend wants. Makes no sense. Maybe in Sweden it does, so that's why I'm not going to judge it. But it makes for a good movie, because I'll tell you what, they go on a weekend getaway, and the only time the dog ever talks to her is when he tells her to run. And that's where I'm going to leave it. Go check it out. So yeah, it kind of turns itself on its head. Number 4. What do you got?
Number 4. You see here. Number 4, also from 2023, I actually chose Paul Ragsdale Murdercide.
I love that movie.
Yep, that was a fun throwback to the classic 80s aerobic slashers.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, just like how I chose the Phantom Fun World, that's a genre that I when I heard Paul was making that movie, I actually generally got excited. I was like, oh my God, I can't remember the last time someone tapped into that style of genre. I mean, obviously I love slashers, but to do a slasher in that kind of subgenre, I was very, very much really brought into that one, and honestly, I liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. I thought Paul did a great job on it. It was definitely a fun movie. It had a lot of fun, definitely over the top characters, and trust me, I ain't judging that. You all saw Bloody Summer Camp, we know over the top characters. So especially when you do those kind of movies, when you do an 80s throwbacks. I mean, if your characters aren't over the top, I really question if you got the 80s then.
Yeah, that's completely fair. Paul, what you got for number 4?
I went with In a Violent Nature.
Okay. Interesting. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I liked I liked it as an experiment.
I was
It's the same reason I like Skinamarink. I was like, they took a chance and they did,
Yes.
I loved their concept. A lot of it was really well done on that POV perspective. I just felt like I think the biggest gripe, and I think a lot of people would be on board with that too. Less POV of him walking. We didn't need that much POV of him walking.
At least drop a ring in a volcano or something.
The point be a little quicker. Outside that though, like that one kill on the cliff.
I will tell you as a screenwriter and as a screenwriter, I hated that. There's no drama. There's no character development. There's no plot that you can really see that's worth a damn. The characters are all one-dimensional just because they service the kills. So as a critical writer, I think that's a dog shit script. As a filmmaker, producing, like if somebody was like, I have this idea I want to do, let's do it. I'd be like, fucking game on. All right, let's do something different, right? So like there's a battle in my head going on because I'm like, as the writer, I'm like, I would have fixed this, this, and this. But like added this a little bit more. Yeah, it could be all POV, but we can do this. Yeah, anyway, I'm being critical. But as a producer, I enjoyed it. So that's why it's like a 2.5. But I do like the choice because it was one of the more interesting years. So my number 4 on this list is The Wolf of Snow Hollow, which came out, which honestly, in my opinion, was a big help. I think it was like one of the best movies of 2020 when it came out. I mean, it's not saying much, but like for this movie, it was still elevated above. Like it would have been a good movie, even if we had a normal year of movies that year. You know what I mean? So Wolf of Snow Hollow. Good one. That's a good one. If anybody gets a chance, check that out. It's about a cop who's unraveling. It's sort of a dark comedy horror film. It's a cop who's unraveling while his little town is being attacked, presumably by a werewolf, and he's the only one that doesn't believe that the werewolf exists. Comedy of errors. It's interesting if you guys get number 3. What you got?
Number 3. Number 3, I actually have down. It's a short film, so I'm not sure if that counts or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
And, I can also quick little RIP to the director. He actually passed away recently. Morgan Wellborn. 2023's Helvira on the Run. I actually got to be a part of that a little bit as well, and I didn't choose that because of that. I actually chose it for the same reasons as I chose Murder Size, and the same way I chose Murder Size and Phantom Fun World, but in a little different direction on this one. This one was something completely different. Like he wanted to do a fun horror comedy mashup, very heavy on the comedy, and he kind of had a great idea for a character that was I want to take Killjoy from the indie horror series, and I want to mix him with a woman of that same caliber as, say, like Harley Quinn, and mesh them together and just make one crazy, like loony, like demonic female demon, like one that just likes to have fun and not really go off on a killing spree, but just torment people for fun, for her cheap laughs. Like they all end up surviving in the end and stuff. Like that is just, it puts them on a fun ride. I thought it was a great concept. Sushi, Savette Holder, actually played Helvira, and she absolutely owned that role. And I felt like it was its own character. Like I felt like that was a really awesome IP. And I was really bummed to hear about Morgan's passing, because I know he wanted to do more with that character. And honestly, I would have really loved to have seen where he was going to go with that one.
Thank you. What you got from number 3, Paulie?
I went with the movie Oddity.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's interesting. That was an interesting, weird movie. I think you were the one that recommended that one.
Yeah, because it kind of reminded me of like the movie version of a Creep Show episode. Even though I know Creep Show did a movie, but that's kind of what it gave me the feels of. I did enjoy it a lot.
Sure. You like that dark, that like real dark, like goth. No, I don't want to say goth. You do like gothic, but almost like what Weapons was. Like, yeah, there's some comedy to it, but when it's like that, it's like sort of dismal.
Yes.
You seem to like that dismal horror. I get that.
Yes. Like The Mist. Yes.
Number 3 for me was X by Ty West. We know Pearl and Maxine sort of grew with its distribution, but X being as independent as it was, and Ty West's turn at that, I thought it was fantastic. They did a great job. So that's my number 3. Number 2 on our list. What do you got for me, Mike?
Number 2. I have 2025 Matt Cloud Coffin Tooth.
Coffin Tooth. Okay.
That was a love letter to that old 70s grind style kind of slasher like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, except he wanted to make his own IP to go along with it. And I think he did an absolutely fantastic job. There's a great bit of who's who of like female indie horror actors in there. You'll see Angel Bradford in there. Anna Carey is also shows up in there. You'll also see I'm drawing a blank on her name, but the lead from the original I Spit on Your Grave.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, she also has a cameo in here, but it was a really good fun one. Oh, and also everyone's favorite indie zombie, Jim Crut from the original Dawn of the Dead, also has a cameo in there as well.
Nice.
Like I said, it's a really great movie. It's a really good fun time. I definitely really enjoyed that one. Like especially if you're a fan of that Texas Chainsaw Massacre SK style, it's definitely one y'all should definitely check out. Like Matt did a great job.
Nice. Very cool. All right. What's your number 2, Paul?
I got 2 for number 2 because it was tough. So I did Hell House Origins, and then I also did Hereditary because I needed them both to be on that list. They got to be on my list, and they can't take number 1. So it's both. It's got to be both. I got to be a pain in the ass at some aspect.
You move 1 back to 3, then you move your 5 back to 6. Sir. No, I'm just kidding.
Bloody Summer Camp doesn't deserve 6. Rude.
Wait, it technically is 6, though. No, it's your list. You can have doubles if you want. Number 2 for me is The Black Phone.
Nice.
I thought it was phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to the sequel. I'm a little apprehensive because, like, where do you go with he died? Like, what do you think?
It opens up more.
And that's why I'm cautiously optimistic. So I'll check it out. All right, our final one before we get to our main. What is your number 1?
My number 1. I'm not really sure I should be giving this guy any credit if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, but I am going to go with 2025 Dave Kerr's The Slasher Nurse. I know you're all going to probably scream biased, and you know what? Fair point. You know what? You can scream bias on me on you on that one. Part of it is reason why I'm biased is because yes, I work with Dave Kerr. Yes, I do work with Slasher 15 Productions. But along with that, I've also gotten to see where Dave has grown. And the thing about The Slasher Nurse, that was a reboot to Dave Kerr's very first film as a filmmaker when he had no budget, no nothing. And he wanted to go back and show everyone how much he has changed and how much he has improved and has grown as a filmmaker. And honestly, I think he did such a phenomenal job of making that point that I think a lot of people, if they go watch Curse of the Slashers, then go watch The Slashers, they're not going to believe it's the same director. They're going to think they got catfished or something. Like they're like, no, this is not the same one. For anyone who has not seen it, The Slashers is a love letter to 80s, 90s slashers. Dave Kerr created that character because he did a look back and realized that back in that time era, there was not one good iconic standalone female mass slasher, and that was a crime, and that needed to change. So he created The Slashers and rebooted her.
There was one.
What's that?
There was one.
Oh, what?
Technically, and she shows up in your movies.
Oh, Felissa?
Felissa.
Yeah, but she's not a mass killer.
I mean, technically, she's hiding behind the guise of being so
fair point. Fair point.
No, I'm just kidding. It is cool that it is a fun movie for sure. And anybody who hates me should watch it. Anybody who watches just know should watch that movie. Paul's gonna hard on watch it later. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch Die over and over again. I'm just gonna keep rewinding it.
Yep. Also true. Our ultimate host Mick, it also had a fun
I was just a pitch for you people watching. Watching and listening. If you like me at all, I'm in the movie. You should go check it out. But otherwise, it's just a good movie. The more important portion, it is a fun one. I got to see it. I own a copy. I have one right here. And also I was a judge for Carolina Fear. That was one I watched. I could not rate because I'm in it. But I got to watch it and at least give it.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's a good one on the list.
Yes.
What's your number 1, Paul? I think I know.
Why don't you tell them what my number 1 is? You already know it. Go ahead.
Your number 1 is the same as my number.
Is it?
is Late Night with
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of the indie films that came out, that's the one that I've watched repeatedly since it came out, and I thought it was really well done.
It was a very good one. Like I definitely liked it. It once again, it fits in that same genre of that I was talking about before. It was something different. So I'm like, this is not the norm at all. Like this is not like someone just redoing the same formula over again. Like they actually thought this one out. They had fun with it. They went a different angle, and I thought they really executed it very well.
I hate possession. I think they're stupid. I think every possession film I've ever seen after The Exorcist missed the point of that they didn't win. Exorcism didn't work. It doesn't work. It's not some like thing that you go in there and it's a weapon you wield against the powers of evil. It was literally them trying to do the best they can. What it took was an act of sacrifice, and everyone missed the point, because whenever they make a possession film, it becomes this cartoon style, like, well, we're gonna fight it with an exorcism and we need the best, and then it became like, well, we don't need priests don't do exorcisms, we're gonna get this guy who's like a private detective who just knows how to do things. So like I've always thought possession films were just, not that they shouldn't exist, they're just useless and a terrible trope. But Late Night with the Devil turned it on its head, and that's why it's my number. It was interesting. It made demon possession interesting outside of pea soup. But I've always been a massive hater on possession films. I do like The Last Exorcism. That was another one that kind of took it and turned it a little bit into a different, like, the fact that it's a found footage, the fact that he doesn't believe, and it's like he's having a crisis of faith. I thought that was an interesting angle to add to that, because that it seemed like they did get it when it came to The Exorcist and what exorcisms are. But yeah, I love Late Night with the Devil, Paul. I know it's your favorite movie.
Yes.
Like,
definitely. I'm staring at the poster right now. Like it's
not wrong with that. I think, and a cool concept too. I wouldn't mind seeing another thing with sort of
Late Night with the Paul cast. Yeah.
podcast. I love it. But that's our top 5, everybody. Thanks for joining us.